How you all doing? So, a question I get asked loads of times. You know about cars, will you come and look at a car for me? I'm riddled with anxiety, mate. Yeah, but you'll be fine. Hang on, I'll just turn my fucking anxiety off just so I can go look at a car for you. So, car buyer's guide. Let's talk you through it. So you're going to look at a new motor. You don't have a clue what you're looking at. Let's go through it. Bodywork's decent. You're on to win it, because I can guarantee bodywork's hardest thing to get right. If it's got big dents and scratches everywhere, it costs you a nice pretty penny to get that sorted. So have a good walk around. Make sure there's no scratches, scuffs, dents. You know, if there is, you expect odd ones with aged fucking cars. But make sure it's no that's, you know, not going to ruin you, because at the end of the day, you're going to be driving this. Is all these gaps in body panels should all be about the same. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. If it's half a centimetre top, it wants to be half a centimetre bottom. Same all the way around car. You know, if it looks amiss, chances are it's been in a crash, or, you know, look, a little ding and somebody's changed it. So everybody always says never buy a car that's just been washed, because it hides oil marks on the floor. What a load of gash. If you wash your car and water gets on it, it looks like a fucking rainbow. But yeah, you know, if somebody's washed it, it means they cared about the car, you know. It's not a bag of shit that they're wanting shut of. Again, interior, make sure it looks alright. If there's loads of stains in seats and you can't deal with it, don't buy it. But again, stains in seats, I'll jet wash, or carpet clean out. You'll be surprised on what you can get out with a good scrub. Have they all got good tyres? I don't know, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I've got no idea about cars. Well, let's have a look. So that's your minimum line there. That. It's above that, so that means it's a good tyre. It's not massively above it. Mate, that's going to need changing at some point. Right, further down here. Can you see this tyre? Nice big crack all the way up at there, rating centre. To me, that's going to need a tyre. Look at this side. Marks are all good. About 4 or 5 mil on there. Nice good tyre, no big chunks out of it. So on, we move on. Again, don't need to say I'd suck eggs, but check them all 4 tyres. Because if you buy a car and it needs 4 brand new tyres, that's a few quid right there and then. Seat rips. Leather seats are known for it. So we've got refuel, low fuel. Is that an issue? No, not at all. Then we've got parking brake. Does it go off when you take the handbrake off? It does. So that means there's no issues with the parking brakes. There's no engine lights on. Give the engine a rev. Does it sound like a bag of spanners? Is it rattling? Does it sound like a bag of shit? I've heard you all before. I don't know what a good engine sounds like. Surely you'd know what a bad engine sounds like if it's rattling its tits off. Diesels are going to be louder than petrols. So if you looked at a petrol, then you can see a diesel and it's a bit louder. It's going to be. It's going to be louder. Again, make sure there's no engine lights on. Because an engine management light, again, can cost you an arm and a leg. The common faults are with certain cars. So for example, what are the common faults on a Mercedes? And again, don't be afraid to take the engine cover off. Right, so to me, it's dusty. If you ever see Tipex, it means it's had something new from a scrapyard. The Tipex here, you know, that means it's had a new engine, which it has because I fitted it, so I know. Look for wet marks. You know what wet looks like. If it looks wet, it's leaking oil. If it looks dry, it's not leaking. Again, you do need to be careful here, because some people can jet wash the engine a few days prior and get all the oil out of there. But you know, take it for a drive, come back. If it's leaking, it'll start showing wet marks again. Check your coolant. If you don't know what coolant should look like, Google it before going. Should either be blue, should either be pink. If it's none of them, or green, If it's none of them colours, most likely it's going to need some coolant topping up. Again, more costs adding up. You need to leave the engine about 20 minutes before checking engine oil. You know, get a rag, wipe it, make sure it's between min and max. If you don't know what min and max is, Google it for that brand of car. Oh, the headlight's gone all misty. Look at your brakes. So that looks a bit rusty, and that's because it's just been washed. That looks a bit rusty because it's not been driven in about 2 months, and it does need new brakes. Again, show you these BMW ones. They're uneven wear, gonna need changing. They're pretty much brand new, a good sign to see. Check wipers. Again, all the stuff that you find is potentially money off. If it needs a brand new set of wipers, yeah, it might only be 50 quid, but it's a bargaining chip. If you get to a car and it's prestige, and you're like, you know, you can't go nowhere. I've even had it before where somebody's gone to buy a 10 grand car and it's had advisories on MOT. After done the advisories, how do you check if a car has advisories? Right. So I use something called Total Car Check, free of charge. You've got to create an account to be able to see previous MOTs. Create an account takes seconds. So we're going to put T4 LNF, and that tells you exactly. So that tells you exactly what it is. Mercedes-Benz A180, stop start, 1.5 diesel, 107 brake horsepower, blah blah blah. Tell you last mileage for the last MOT. MOT, it's got 355 days left. So yeah, this is just past an MOT. Road tax, it'll tell you how much the road tax is. It'll tell you when it's due to expire, which we know these days road tax expires straight away, doesn't get transferred over anymore. Insurance group 16E, so that tells you it's going to be low insurance. It's going to tell you miles per gallon 62.8, extra urban 85, you know, not 60 speed if you're a motorman. It'll tell you how quick it is. We know it's not going to be fast if it's 1.5 diesel, but you never know. So this car passed the MOT. Near side rear inner tyre close to legal limit. Offside rear tyre close to legal limit. To me, I'd have followed them for front tyre, but you know, offside brake pipe, you know, you can go through the previous MOT, see what it's failed on, see what it's passed on. It's a mega tool, well worth the download. Bulbs. Have all the bulbs working. If somebody says to you, oh, it's fucking bulbs out, I didn't realise. Alright mate, I'll get your bulb, chuck it in. You could be looking at an electrical fault. You know, if you're spending a couple of grand on a car, you expect little things like bulbs to be working, you expect the lights to be on. You know, you expect it not to be pissing out of oil. Don't buy a ringer, because we've all been there, we've all done it. I bought a shit car in the past, and I'll probably buy shit cars again in future. Bonus to me is I can fix them. A lot of you lot can't. Again, when engine's running, press the clutch in. Does it feel high? I don't know what a high clutch is. Google it. Get on YouTube. They'll give you a full explanation of what a high clutch is. It basically just means where your pedal feels too high to normal. All cars are different, yeah, but if it's an exceptionally high clutch, get out of there. Clutches can range from £150 in parts to maybe £400 labour on top to, you know, £1.5 to £2 grand. Be careful what you're buying. Again, wing mirror covers, are they on? Because they're not. Again, don't be afraid just to grab and make sure they're fully on. If somebody's not happy with you walking around touching cars, you know, that means they're trying to hide something. Again, do the doors open, do the close, and don't be afraid to buy a car that's had some modified parts on it. Like this one. It's had a different set of alloys on. Yeah, the Mercedes ones. They'll look a bit nicer. It's got wind deflectors on. Don't mean he's been racing it down fucking back streets. It's got a spoiler on. It's got some black alloys. It's got some wind deflectors. Has he been racing it? No. Not everybody that modifies the cars goes racing. Honestly, take your time when buying cars. Don't jump into them. And now a story, many moons ago, I sent somebody to look at a car for me. And when they got back, I opened the passenger door and the passenger door literally fell. Came off its hinge and fucking fell. Like sound, mate. Cheers for looking for that. Give him 50 quid. Never sent him again. Do your homework. Honestly, it's not hard. Again, any questions? By all means, ping me a message. Advice is always free. When buying cars, make sure you pay for report. So, long story, cut short with this one. Before we bought this car, we did a vehicle check to make sure if it was stolen, on finance, etc, etc. We thought we were doing the right thing. We bought it. 2 years later, a young lad says, right, you know what, fancy something different, I'm going to sell it. Bloke came to buy it, he says, when's finance paid off? I'm like, what are you on about? Because there's finance on it. Just the fuck. Did a check. Anyway, bloke showed me. What had happened is, we did a vehicle check, this car got bought on finance on Monday. It got up for sale on Tuesday, which means the car check records were never updated. So we went and bought this car and it still owed, can't remember, 5-7 grand, whatever it was. So alarm bell started ringing. This is, bear in mind, this is 2 years later. Foreign friends though, got no against them, apart from this one. Sent a young lad through because he said, you know, he'll come here, give him asking price what he's selling car for. Jobs are good and everybody's happy. He got there, he then said, oh, I noticed you've rang fraud team. Cancel that and I'll get your money back in a week. Hang on a minute. You want me to cancel the fraud team so you can scrape some cash together? You've made us drive all the way through promising that you're going to pay us and you never did. So we rang the fraud team. We rang the finance company, we told them about everything that happened. Luckily enough, young lad had every single bit of advice on the car, every message he'd ever sent. We sent it all over to the finance company. They then turned around and says, right, we can see you've paid for it, we can see that you've you know, you've had it 2 years. So they removed the finance factor on it and sent the foreign dude, I think you're Romanian, a large bill. One for fraud, one for rest at finance owed. So even when you do everything by books, you can still get stung. Luckily enough, we've still got everything, still got the car, didn't lose out on out. But honestly, there's some scammers out there. And it's, honestly, it is easy to scam you. Very, very easy. Have your wits about you. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But like I said, when we bought this car, it was about the right price. A little bit cheaper than usual. But, you know, only by 300-400 quid. Yeah, the cheeky bastards, they'd got it on finance on Monday, listed it for sale on Tuesday, and it just happened to be the perfect car what young lad were after. Fitted every bill, passed all checks, and then it had a hidden past. So am I saying that you can't rely on these finance checkers? No, you can. You can rely on them. Because if they're everything wrong, I'd imagine they are willing to help you, you know. But yeah, be careful. So yeah, any questions on any of this, hit me up on any of my socials. And see you in a bit and on to the next one. Ciao.